So to get started on a meatball sandwich, we're going to need to make some meatballs. So in a large bowl, I have minced pork, beef, and veal with some chopped onion, minced garlic, salt, pepper, chili flakes, some basil, some parsley, 1 egg, and tore up a piece of white bread that I soaked in about half a cup of milk. Just add all that to the bowl and keep on mixing and mixing and mixing. Just be sure to get to the bottom of the bowl because that's where a lot of stuff gets stuck, and keep mixing but don't overwork it. Keep on going until everything's mixed together and homogeneous, and I'll show you what it should look like in the next step. So this is kind of what we're shooting for. Everything's mixed and incorporated well, and then after this we'll ball them up and fry them off. The next step is to ball everything up, so just take about 3 ounces. I mean, you can do it a little bit smaller, 2 ounces, even 1 ounce, just up to your personal preference. Just shape them into balls and set them aside on a tray, and we'll get to browning them off after this. So once everything's mixed and balled up, the next thing to do is just to sear off the meatballs. So get a large pot, put it over medium heat, and put in about 1/4 cup of olive oil. Let it heat up for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then start browning your meat off in batches. Again, if you do too much at once, everything's going to steam instead of searing off. So just be patient and take your time. It'll be about 5 or 6 minutes per side. After about 5 to 6 minutes on each side of browning off, this is what they should look like. Just set them off to the side. Again, do it in batches just so you don't overcrowd the pan and things don't steam. Now that the meatballs have been done browning, we're going to have a lot of fond left on the bottom of the pot, so just go ahead and add your mirepoix. That's onion, carrot, and celery, and just let that sweat down for about 5 minutes. Try scraping up as much of the fond as you can off the bottom of the pot, and we'll go on to the next step. After I let everything cook down for about 5 minutes, it's time to add in some chopped up garlic and let that sweat out with the entire mix for about another 2 minutes. Just stir it around until it's combined properly, and let's go to the next step. Next, add in your tomato paste. Make sure you get all of it in there and just stir that around and let it cook for another 5 minutes. Again, just make sure that everything's mixed thoroughly and let the tomato paste caramelize and cook down. About 2 minutes into cooking down the tomato paste, just add some red chili flakes. You can add as much or as little as you want. I added quite a bit because I like my food spicy. After about 5 minutes, add in about a cup or a cup and a half of red wine, something you enjoy drinking, and just scrape everything off the bottom of the pot. And let it cook down a little bit further till the wine's reduced. Once it's to this consistency, add in your tomatoes. You can use whatever tomatoes you have on hand. Strained tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. I'm using whole crushed San Marzanos. Just wipe out the bowl. Make sure you get as much tomato into the pot as you can, and also just rinse it out a little bit as well with some water, or you can use stock too, whatever, it's up to you. Now just add in some salt and pepper to taste and give it a stir. Next, let's add some oregano and throw in a bunch of basil and just give it a stir again. Next, let's bring everything up to a simmer over medium heat. Once it's starting to lightly bubble like this, just drop in your balls. Be a little bit gentle. You don't want anything to break up too much, so just take your time and just put them in as best as you can. After you fit all your meatballs into the pot, you're going to want to let it cook on low heat for about an hour and a half. I just cooked mine without the top on, just so it would reduce a little bit more than usual, because I like my sauce thick. We're almost to the promised land here, guys. Now all we need to do is just assemble. So get whatever kind of roll you want. You can use a sub bun. Here I'm just using something that I picked up at my market. They bake bread fresh every day, so I'm just using that. And I minced some garlic, some parsley, and I melted it with some butter. I'm just brushing garlic butter. You don't have to do this, but I mean, it's garlic butter, so who doesn't love it? So yeah, just brush it evenly on both sides if you're going to be using it, and then after that we'll put on the meatballs. So with the meatballs, use as many or as little as you'd like for one sandwich. I kind of loaded it up here. You can see that I'm just trying to fit as much as I can into one sandwich. And if you want, just add some extra sauce on top. When it comes to meatball sandwiches, I like mine saucy, so why not load it up with as much or as little as you want. Eat your sandwich the way you want it, not the way other people tell you you should have it. Now here I'm throwing on 2 slices of mozzarella, pizza mozzarella at that, and I'm kind of struggling to put on the second slice, but once that's on, let's throw it into the toaster oven in my case, or a big oven if you're doing a lot at once, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I just nuked it in the toaster oven just to melt the cheese at like 350. You can even use the air fryer if you want, but yeah, this is pretty much it. Let's just finish it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and have a brain fart because I'm using the wrong side of the grater. So once we get it to the right side, top it off with as much or as little as you like again. And let's cut into this. Now that everything's assembled, let's cut into this thing. Use a bread knife if you can, if you have one. If not, no worries, just try your best to cut it. And I kind of screwed up here because the bread was too crispy and it kind of dragged everything out of position. So I struggled a little bit, but just be confident, squeeze down and cut. And that's the video. Thanks for watching.